Hey, Pete. Mark calling you back. I hope you're good. I heard that the series is a go, man. Great news.
So that's me in the chair. I'm making this series with one of the very first bands I ever worked with, and I've been asked to introduce myself.
Hello.
But I learned from my very first time on camera.
He's just played so hard, wanted to make sure he got on camera today.
So smile pretty, okay?
I don't know, I just try to look at the receivers, play deep. That's about it.
I prefer to stay behind the lens. I'm obsessed with music. It's the one consistent love of my life. I feel lucky working with musicians, making videos, films, and just being along for the ride, helping tell their stories.
That is the craziest thing ever.
It's been amazing. But without a doubt, my favorite moments have been witnessing the creative process. That's where I believe we are all most vulnerable, and our true self lives. Evolution of a Song is a series that captures that. It's not about the final mastered song, but how you get there. We will be following musicians as they reveal the hard work and magic that goes into creating a great song.
To answer your question, next Tuesday is a great day because I'm going to be in studio. If you can make it for that, man, I think that's a good place to start.
A little quick band history. Most of the guys grew up together, and their first performance was over 20 years ago at their 8th grade talent show. They all went to Ohio State for college. After years of touring their asses off, they get a radio hit and play the morning shows. Went overseas to play for the troops. And today, sell out some of the biggest venues in the country.
You know, there's a really big part of me that believes great songs come as a delivery. You know, right place, right time, right energy. You know, of course, there's another big part of me that believes life is completely random, and it's just luck. I don't know where they come from. If I knew where they came from, I'd have a little house right outside, with a piano, a guitar, pen and a paper, just to catch them.
The band's in a place now where, you know, they have to separate themselves. I mean, in a way that it's really hard to do when you've been together as a band for 20 years.
You know, when you have one song to write, what is the song that you write?
You don't see many bands say, we've got to write the song of our career, and we have to document it, and we want to release that on an ongoing series. That takes a lot of balls.
Have to put an album out, have to put a song out, have to do it by this time, have to do this.
Yeah, I think there's a shitload of pressure. It's just kind of like one shot. Write a great song that pleases yourself, the record label, the radio.
Famous saying, can't push the river, you know? There's nothing you can do about it. It comes when it comes.
This doesn't even look like a good idea on paper. This is really ass backwards. What normally happens is you put the record out, then you release a bunch of videos and tell the story of the making of and all that. We've reversed that. And it's, you know, the label's been very supportive, but it's not the way you normally do music business. And that's really what excites me, but it also scares the shit out of me.
Whoa, we were up early today. I'm not kidding. Those kids. Yeah. You just say you're like this, sleeping, and you sense this thing right here in your face, and you just wake up, and there's just like a 3-year-old staring at you. Yeah, the reason why I don't write at home, I have 2 dogs, 2 kids, so you can only be inspired so long until you get shifted to a different kind of inspiration, which mostly all my demos have my kids on them, like talking in the background, which I love.
So how are the songs coming?
What I need to do is write and write and write and write. So not get hung up on one song I've been collecting ideas throughout the year. In my phone, I have about 20 solid melody or chord ideas. I don't wanna be a pill you swallow. I don't wanna be a millionaire. Never from my soul, win for no one. Be like, follow me, I follow you. We could run through the city. Huh? I was a fool before, won't be a fool anymore. All because of you. I have about 20 of those. I need to get in a room and figure out if I want to do them by myself or with whom. We have 2 or 3 songs in pre-production, right? We're writing them, they're very close to being done. And then we need to bring in the band. So right now we're in the very beginning stages.
It's stressful?
I try not to bring that into the equation, because if I did, it would be very stressful to think, oh, I have to write a song, because I've been there and that's no fun. It's like more of an assembly line thing that I'm not into and I'm not good at.
A big giant red light party, Stapleton and Van Terry, Alabama Shake, Usher, Rihanna.
Bingo, that's it. All right, I'll call you with all-star stuff. Thanks, big guy. Lovely doing business. Bye-bye. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. From a manager's perspective, what do I hope this song does? I hope it shatters people's perception of what O.A.R. is. I want this song to be disruptive.
And does it need to be a hit?
It would be great if it was a hit. Does it need to be a hit? It needs to be important. You know? I mean, you know, does it have to be number 5 on the chart? No, but it's gotta be a musical statement. They can't phone this in. And my job throughout this process is to not let them.
So that's it. So we just relearn the verse.
Well, you just do what you would do if we weren't here. Right now. You don't have to talk to it. You don't have to do a play-by-play.
Oh, yeah.
Just do your thing.
You sure you're patient? Okay, great. So you ask anybody who's been in a writing session, you're so psyched, you've stumbled upon something and you finish something that you are certain. I mean, you're never really certain, but you are positive that this is the one. You know, you're walking out of that session and you're sending it in a label thinking you're gonna get to play this song for the next 10 years because it's a hit and it came from such a special place. And you know that that's the one. But what you're not thinking about is on the other side of that wall, there's a record label, there's a radio, and there's a public. They decide what a hit song is, not you.
We signed O.A.R. as a band. We didn't sign a song, or we signed O.A.R. as a band, and our job as a label, I think primarily is to serve that artist in whatever sort of journey that artist goes on, to support that and market it effectively. That said, O.A.R. is a band that has expressed to us and had, like, that they want success at radio. They've had success at radio. They feel like that's an effective mechanism for communicating to their fans, and we've seen that be the case. And so, despite the fact that we have been hands-off and artist-friendly in the creative process, when a band like O.A.R. says, we know we need to have a song that works for radio, that's where we will sort of advise and get involved.
How many times can I break till I shatter? Over the line, can't define what I'm after. I always turn the car around.
The band's now 10 years, almost 10 years removed from their biggest hit, which was Shattered. And we had success with Peace on the last record. We got it, you know, we had a good run at Hot AC Radio. But to really break through again, this song has to be a fresh look for the band. It has to set them up for the next decade going forward.
This is a business. It's something that, you know, we've always tried to navigate through, but we've never intentionally gone in there and said, I'm gonna write hit songs so that we can be famous.
We all started this thing together. We came from the same town. And along the way, we lost some folks. And we're hoping that one day at the end of this road, we're gonna find the people that we lost. And we're gonna spend a little time together and we're gonna laugh about all the shit we did, and we're gonna laugh about all the times we had. And I know that this will happen. I know it'll happen, and I know it'll be in a place called City on Down. And I hope you like the song that we wrote about it. Well, in the end, my friend, we will all be together again. Clutching onto my hand, in a valley we'll stand. We're just living again.
We want to be musicians. We want to be traveling, working, recording musicians. And when you get a hit song, something that the label gets behind, something that everyone believes in, you know, for me, what that means is it gives me 5 more years to get out there and play my music. Shit, sorry. Yeah, I'm sitting here talking about it, but it really, it's all you want to do. Fuck. Do it again. I think the reason I care so much about creating music to give me music, you know, if I can make a song that can get out on the radio and it can do really well and essentially become a hit song, that's something that puts me out on the road with my band, you know, for years. And being out on the road with your band for years enables you to make money so that you can pay for your kids to go to school, you know, and you can feed your family. Just doing what you love.
Let's hear for Alan Stone, everybody.
3, 4. So I love where you're at. Yeah, love where you're at. And keep your dirt on the surface. Just love where.
What is songwriting?
Well, songwriting is the art of, I believe, crafting an emotion within a musical piece. Songwriting for me it's kind of a language of energy that has so many moving parts with the melody, the lyrical content, chord progression. That's the ultimate, like, catch-22, is that the harder you search for it, the farther away you get from it. Like Johnny Cash said, 4 chords and the truth. He said, that's a good song, 4 chords and the truth. Don't make it any more difficult. I think nowadays, me specifically, in this context, I'll go searching for something. Oh, nobody's ever done this. And you maybe get away from what people actually want, which is 4 chords and the truth.
I've been waiting for you out there on this rubble, soft and slowly ancient, like your streets, you know, broken windows always go so different, honey, damn.
I personally would be probably a bit nervous to have a camera on me in the studio with the pressure to write a single song and all. I think Mark's songwriting is very honest and very true to himself, which is awesome. I've had the chance to see him play a couple of times and work with him. And I always find that his songwriting seems to come from a very natural, very honest place. That's something that's very admirable about Mark, because sometimes you work with songwriters and you see people sing and you sort of there's something missing. There's something that's not 100% resonating with them, with what they're singing, sort of what's in here and then what's sort of coming out of their mouth isn't, 100% sort of aligned in some way. And I think with Mark, that thing is aligned.
So why just one song?
I think actually writing one song, one great song, is harder than writing 10 good ones. I think that in this day and age of, streaming and the way people listen to music, it's increasingly challenging to make a body of work and have people want to absorb all of it. And it was the right time for O.A.R. to do this because we're celebrating, 20 years of them being a band and putting together a collection of songs. And I didn't want it just to be a look to the past. I wanted to also look forward and hint to where the band is going.
So what my problem is the first verse lyrics. I think we all agree we need better ones. Until then, I think it's pretty cool. It's got a good vibe,
The songwriting process has changed over the years. We started as a couple kids playing music in a basement. There wasn't any thought to the goal of sitting down and having to package something a certain way. And then as we've grown up, it's changed where the guys have brought more finalized versions of songs to the band. We've had versions where we write as a band together.
Oh, wow. I hope it to be a great snapshot of where our band is 20 years later.
As we've evolved as a band, he's continued to write music that resonates not just within the band, so we can spend our lives supporting that meaning, but it resonates with our audience, and I think not just our audience necessarily, but it would keep, I think, spreading.
I think a great song has an honest perspective from the writer, and it connects with people. People can relate to it. They can see themselves in the song. They can close their eyes. It's almost like a movie script or a screenplay where, it inspires them.
All right.
I think not just as a songwriter, I think he has a real special voice. I think he's got a tone in his voice where if you hear him sing, that's Mark Roberge.
I just want to sing through some verse option ideas. Try to and stay true to what the story we're trying to tell, or go somewhere, but try to tell a story. I mean, I'm sitting here, I'm thinking of Springsteen. I don't know why. The guy just, he's a genius storyteller, I think. So he can say a few words or a lot of words, but put you in this place, wherever that is. I need to do that on this song, I think. Your breath and a weird noise. Follow me, I'll follow you. This is the very first demo, so there's no backing vocals. Off the record, I'm in savior mode on this one. We better get it to the next level, or I gotta bail and go on something else,
What's going to be interesting through this process is at some point, the calendar is going to start becoming your enemy, because it's not like you have years to write the song. At some point, the song's got to get written.
I feel late without the guitar. It's good.
the rest of the things have to kick in. You got to release a record, you got to go on tour. You know, all these things that keep the band alive and breathing have to happen. So the creative process right now, I don't want them to feel the pressure, but there's no doubt they feel the pressure.
In my life, I'm really in a place where I'm so thankful that I'm a musician and I get to make songs. That's my job. But right now, I'm really trying to maintain a calm, fun experience. So I'm not getting stressed out about it. Ask me in a month. Hey, buddy. Did you go to the dentist or they gave you that at school?
If you don't brush your teeth, you're gonna have a cavity.
If you don't brush your teeth, you're gonna have a cavity. You are so right. Oh, you got floss? Yay! They say that I should have known better. They tell me I'm up to no good. I was a fool before, won't be a fool anymore. All because of you. Yeah, they say that you can't push the river. They tell me I can't fight the seas. I was afraid before, I'm not scared anymore. And it's all because of you. Time is like love in a hurry. Time, oh, it just won't recede. But there's a place in between where time ain't a thing, and it's all the time we need. They say that we should have known better. They say that we're up to no good. Let them say what they will. We'll have time standing still, and it's all because of you. Yeah, it's all because of you.